Hey, this is Raz Baraka, Mayor of the great city of Newark. Welcome to my 8th episode of Raz in 60. We have an exciting show for you today in celebration of March and Women's History Month. We're featuring some dynamic women on today's show. Each of these women are doing great work that impacts the lives of other women of all ages, particularly in the city of Newark, but in other places too, I presume. We have on today's show Yandy Smith from Love and Hip Hop, and author and advocate Jamila T. Davis. We also have Ms. Keisha Yuri, who is the program director at the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center. Keisha Yuri goes way back, does many things in this community. Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, Westboro Violence Reduction Committee, a whole bunch of things she's doing. So it's going to be a great show for you. But before we do that, we want to talk about some things that have been going on around here.
Yes, as always. So, Mayor, I know you posted recently on your Instagram, we deserve reparations. Yes, I mean, I think you definitely explained it, and I agree, we do deserve it. But
100%. You know,
so
the funny thing is that most of the people that be opposed to it are people that look like us. You know, I mean, we have like a serious twisted mentality, man. It's crazy. And some people say, oh, we ain't gonna know what to do with the money. We're gonna waste it. It's not gonna help. That's like telling people after they finish working and they get their paycheck, you shouldn't get paid because you're gonna spend it irresponsibly. Right. The hell if they spend it irresponsibly or not, it's theirs. Let them spend it. And wherever they spend it on is going to, help the economy anyway. Exactly. I mean, the reparations is not about like financial literacy. It's not like saying we're gonna be free after we get reparations. It's not saying all our problems are gonna disappear after we get reparations. What it means is that somebody did something to us and we worked for a very long time, and because of that, generations have started behind, and we ought to be repaired, made whole because of that. So I believe in reparations.
I do too.
A lot of presidential candidates beginning to talk about it. We just need to double down on it.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see it in our lifetime, or?
I don't know. I think that if we continue to push, you may see some form of folks trying to, make amends. Listen, everybody's they've given reparations to Japanese Americans for internment camps. They've given reparations to American Indians. They've given reparations to all kind of people. I mean, Jewish Americans get reparations. I mean, everybody's gotten reparations but us.
Right, we get ignored. I think we.
That's right. And I don't know anybody in their right mind who's walking around here saying, we shouldn't have it, or they don't want it. I bet you if they start passing out checks, they wouldn't send it back.
Exactly. All right. Okay, so you had a very successful men's breakfast.
Yeah, the men's breakfast was crazy, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that many people. I knew people were going to come out because the men's meetings are very robust, they're lively, they're exciting, but I didn't know we would have like almost 2,000 people in there.
Yeah, I seen the photos.
And the line was from the door all the way to the main hall.
Wow.
When you walked in there, it was just a long line of guys, and the sight of it was just amazing on the stage. Seeing all these guys, different age groups, different walks of life. Businessmen, formerly incarcerated, young guys, college students. I mean, it was amazing.
Wow.
And Shaquille O'Neal gave a little shout out. He did a video, gave a shout out.
Oh, that's cool.
It was awesome. And the guys loved it, and we let the folks from Flipping New Jersey get up and talked about how to flip properties and how to buy homes and flip them and all this other kind of stuff. And a young lady got up who who just is a recipient. She just won the award to be one of the subcontractors on the lead service line replacement. So she was up there looking for people to help her, support her, to make sure it was successful. So it was good. And then I spoke, and we gave out a huge 60-inch TV to the hub. They brought the most people. We gave it out to the person who brought the most people with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so he posseed up, had 3 tables full of guys.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a serious meeting. And we have them every month, every second Friday of the month.
In the council chamber.
In the council chamber, 6 p.m. In fact, the next one is March 13th. In the council chambers at 6 p.m. And then 3 days after that is the State of the City.
Yep, that's coming up, 7 p.m. NJPAC.
NJPAC 2020. You can get tickets. Call Nafisa Gundy at 973-733-5962. Nafisa Gundy, 973-733-5962 to get tickets for the State of the City.
Last year was great. This year will be awesome as well.
Yeah, we gotta. The terrible thing about making them good is you always gotta best it. You know what I mean? It gets harder and harder. Yeah, so we gonna do our best, but we're giving out some good information. We're gonna deal with data mostly this time, so we're just gonna give straight data to folks so they can see it themselves on charts and bar graphs and everything, so they can clearly see what's happening in the city based on the data.
Right.
A very objective view of what's happening in the city.
In every show we talk about news and happening in Newark, and I think one thing people need to know about, I don't know if everyone knows, but we actually have our own news page and segment on the City of Newark's website. So
that's right.
Yep, when people want to know what's going on in the city, the good news, all of the happenings, things that aren't always reported in the mainstream media, it's on newarknj.gov/news.
That's right, newarknj.gov/news.
And we welcome 39 firefighters into the academy on Monday.
Yep, that was great. You know, constantly hiring firefighters, police officers, expanding. So 39 new firefighters went into the academy. Hopefully 39 come out.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And the book club is still going strong?
Yep, book club is going strong. We actually have another event on the 27th of February at the library for free. We'll be there with a couple of juniors, maybe 50 to 60 juniors from across the city. We're going to be finishing up the first book we're reading, but we're going to introduce The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz, Dominican American who's writing about life and the culture of, you know, being a Dominican and being American and the clashing between the two and all of those things. A great book.
Right.
Yeah.
And people can get free books, right, from the
free books.
library?
All you do is go to any library in the city, ask for, or say the Mayor's Book Club, they'll give you the book that we're reading.
Okay.
You know, we want you to participate.
Mm-hmm. And I know the health department is rolling out 3 new initiatives.
Incredible initiatives at that, yeah. We're going back to the old house calls. We're going to have a medical van, a mobile unit that'll come out and begin to provide services. They're going to also go to the rec centers, the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center, other kind of locations around the city to provide health screening, health services on the spot for folks there. So be on the lookout for that. You know, it's going to be incredible once it gets started, and it'll be started very shortly.
Right. Okay. That should be very helpful. And also the OR cam, My Eye Too.
And the American Sign Language thing. So we're trying to, you know, we're trying to do stuff for the differently abled population in our community, deaf and hard of hearing, you know, as well as the blind community. You know, the My Eye Too allows folks to go into city places where they provide services, and it actually, they could put the glasses on and it reads the material for them.
Oh, wow.
Right, yeah, it'll read it for them so they can hear it. So if they have to go to vital statistics, if they go to taxes and pay their bills, if anything like that has to happen, it's kind of as assistive technology. It allows the blind and visually impaired population to interact with folks and not necessarily be, you know, because they're blind, use that won't be an issue for them when they come into the city.
Right.
So we could provide services to them. Yep. And we're doing sign language classes for free for employees of the city starting in March. We want all the employees of the city to be able to sign, particularly if you you dealing with folks coming in off the street, right? Again, whether you're in vital statistics, the tax office, the water department, many of these offices with the secretaries of the law department, you know, uniform code compliance office, all of these places, we want people to know sign language enough to communicate with people as they come in. So we're providing sign language classes for all city employees. Of course, we can't make them take them, but it's free, and we certainly going to strongly encourage that all of our employees take the sign language class.
Okay. That'll be helpful. Definitely helpful for people coming to Newark. who need, assistance in that way.
Yeah.
And we have an update on water, which is always updated on the website. But right now we have over 7,000, right, service lines replaced.
Yeah, 7,500, in fact, lead service lines have been replaced to date, which is incredible.
Yeah.
The weather has been very helpful in helping us continue to push forward. Knock on wood, we haven't had any crazy snowstorms, so it's been good. Those guys have been working through the little bit of weather that we've had, but generally, we've had decent enough weather for them to get out there and continue working. So we at 7,500. By the time the State of the City come, we'll be over 8,000 lines replaced. Yep.
Definitely. I was driving yesterday and I seen they were working on, I forget what street it was, but they were out there working. I always see them around the city.
Yeah, they're everywhere, man. Guys are all over the place, trying to get this done. And we are funneling Newark residents to be employed. We have minority subcontractors. We're trying to figure out how to get more involved, and it's helping us figure out other issues that the city and cities like Newark have, and trying to make sure we get minority or black and brown folks involved in these kind of contracting things, just the back office paperwork that needs to be done, all the requirements that exist, the bonding, all the stuff that we're taking people through in order to get them ready. We'll be able to provide for almost anybody to help them get ready. And plus, once these people finish this, they'll be replacing lead service lines all over the state of New Jersey. There are at least 60 municipalities that have this issue that are going to be replacing their lead service lines.
Wow. So this is a great training, a great trade for someone.
Absolutely.
To take up. All right, so we could get into the first guest we have coming on.
Yeah.
First two guests. We have Yandy Smith and Jamila T. Davis.
Yeah. Yandy, New York City native, HU, Howard University grad, and is star on a VH1 reality show, Love and Hip Hop. And separate from that, Yandy is also an entrepreneur with a number of growing businesses. Along with Yandy, we will have author and advocate Jamila T. Davis, who once was incarcerated and now has used that experience to come out, begin to help other young people, begin to her life change and her life transformation is helping transform so many people's lives around the country, I dare say. And we're glad that she chose to be in Newark to help us with a lot of folks that need the kind of assistance. And with those two together, they they're the dynamic duo.
Yes.
That are doing work in our city, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a lot of work in the city of Newark. Okay, so Mayor, we have our first guest on.
That's right.
Originally, the first guest, we have Yandy and we have Jamila T. Davis on.
Hey.
Pleasure to have y'all. We're going to get y'all some spaces in Newark because you hear so much.
Oh, man.
That's
right. We love your city.
This is my second home right now.
Yes.
May, I'm opening up a restaurant in Newark.
Oh, that's a dope.
Yeah, we've been looking for spaces. We've seen so far about 7.
That's all right.
In Newark. And we used one of our construction guys from Flipping the Game class that we do here in Newark to help us look at the spaces and tell us, is this a good investment? Nope, these pipes are faulty, or yes, this is good. So yeah, we're trying to take home here in Newark.
Good. We invite you to be a part of this family in this town.
Thank you.
You've been doing a lot of stuff at first at Westside.
Yes.
And then the Flipping the Game thing that you just talked about,
Yes.
the stuff at the Shani Baraka Center,
Yes,
which is
yes.
crazy. I think the people in Newark really started paying attention when you did the Love and Hip Hop thing at City Hall.
Yeah.
And they like, what is they mayor doing on Love and Hip? What is going on?
But so many people reached out so excited and
That's right.
there was so
That's
many
right.
amazing comments about
That's
you
right.
and so many amazing things that people had to say about him alone. I never hear anybody talk about a mayor.
Right.
But
That's a fact.
the people in Newark has so much love and so much stuff to say, which
That's good.
was really refreshing to hear,
Yeah, you didn't
I
speak
think
to the
it's that-
general haters. though.
No, I didn't speak to them. I think
They knew to stay off the page.
I think it's that bison in you. That's what I
It's the
think.
bison. Somebody actually came to the council meeting and was like, the mayor was on Love and Hip Hop, said he gonna give 60 acres of land to Yandy.
No,
I swear to God.
Make
No
up
way.
Yeah, that's one of Keisha Yuri friends.
What?
Yeah,
Listen, I'm still waiting for my 40 acres and a mule, but it ain't coming from you.
I dig it.
Okay.
But the real crazy thing is, like, even if you was getting land like that in the city, why would people hate on a young African American woman who's trying to come up and do what she needs to do in a city like Newark? People should be embracing it. They're not complaining about these other guys running around here getting property. You don't even know what kind of how much property people got. They've been getting property for years.
Yeah,
For
that's
years.
a fact.
Years. I mean, so
And she's
it
just
is what it is.
Such a real person. So for me, you know, I just came home from federal prison 2.5 years ago. Sentenced to 12.5 years, did 9 down, and Yandy found me on Instagram.
I did.
So this is the power of social media, right? Saw the movement, saw what we was doing, and then reached out, like from the halfway house. All right, sister, what you need? What can I do for you? How could I help you? How could I lend my platform to you to make you greater and your sisters? Because there was a group of us that came home that she empowered. So it's like you don't get to see that love. So people need to understand, like, when they see the work and the workings and how it goes, like, this sister is really using her platform and her life for the better good. So, sis, I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. You don't even understand. People didn't know that I really needed you. I saw from there, I'm telling you, even from there, I was reading articles and I was reading some of the things you were writing via whomever was on your Instagram page. And I was like, yo, every single thing she's talking about, I really want to focus more attention on that. And we kind of gave her a charge. And we were like, here's EGL PUD. That's our non-for-profit. And at the time, it was EGL Partners Uplifting Our Daughters. Since then, it's changed to Partners Uplifting Our Daughters and Sons.
Yes.
And Jamila, literally every single day of the week, she's in a high school. She's at one of our domestic violence shelters. She's at a halfway every day. Like, there's not a time that I'll call her and say, what you do today? That she's not like, well, I was with this chancellor. I was with this superintendent. I was with this mayor.
100%.
We're going to run this program at this school. We're going to do this and that. So really, when it's talking about, you know, paying your debt to society, yes, you did your time. But now it's like she has a lifetime mission to pay her debt back by changing the lives of young people. And not just young people anymore, because now
we do adults.
You started working with parents. And it's amazing, as busy as we all are and as much responsibilities as we have, she's really dedicated her life to this work of purpose. And it's amazing. I'm so inspired by the stuff that you do. I wish sometimes I could be like, I ain't doing Love and Hip Hop no more. I ain't running this skincare business.
Nah. We need you to do that. So this is a true partnership. Do that. Get the viewership up. And then shine a light, and that's all I ask. So she shines the light. I do my part. And then we got a partner, Toya, who is amazing.
Yeah.
She's like,
she's the logistics. She keeps everything moving.
So I gotta ask you a question. What y'all doing in Newark, man?
What are we not doing in Newark?
Exactly.
Right?
You know what? It first started with Westside High. We fell in love with that school. We fell in love with the students. We fell in love with the way we've been able to help and kind of change the culture there. And when we were in, because we didn't know what to expect. That was our first school. And we came in, these kids was looking at us like, and what y'all doing? What y'all here for?
That's about right.
We was like, oh, this is a tough one. But when we got there, we got on the stage, we started dancing, we started talking, and the kids got excited. And like when we walked in, they was like, you know, people say, Yandy from Love, I want to hear, woo! Right. They was like, many people come here. What you gonna do?
That's exactly what they said. They said the people come here all the time, but nobody stay. They like, promise us, and then we don't see them no more. What's up? What's gonna be the commitment?
And that was the energy. Real. But when we did our Set It Off, we had what was our brother's name from Baltimore?
Wallow
came up there. He was amazing. We had some other people come and speak. 2 Millie came.
Oh yeah.
And the more and more we had, y'all just missed the mayor doing the Millie Rock. I've never seen the mayor do the Millie Rock. Okay, I had to take a moment for that. So when we had those, people get on stage, and then we really engaged with them and asked like, what y'all want to do? What are some of the career? What are these exchanges you need? What do you want to learn? And they were so engaged with the fact that we wanted to know what they needed. And then from there, they just rocked with us. Students that weren't coming to school started coming to school. Wow. People that was, she's disrespectful. She cursed out the teacher every day. This young lady became like my best friend in there. She would only come to school looking for me. We exchanged phone numbers. It became like family.
Right.
You know, and,
that's cool.
It started there. So then I think that just helped us fall in love with Newark.
Yes.
Because it really.
Then we got to talk about Flo Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Flo.
She found me in the DM too. See, this social media stuff.
Yes.
Flo found me in the DM, got me there. Then Yandy came, and this is ministry for us.
Yes.
So people ask like, how do you do this, and
Right.
how do you stay charged, and how do you not get tired? Because this is our ministry. This is the thing that we do that gives us energy, right? So when we see other people thriving, it makes us strive to thrive better.
Right.
So then Flo took me to you did this town hall for all the kids.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was able,
Shakira.
with Shakira McKnight, amazing individual. And I love what you guys were doing and telling the kids that, you know, they met specifically with the influences of the school.
Right.
So the kids that were on the teams and that all the kids look up to, and talk to them about how they could redirect their power for good and use their platforms to change their community. So when I got to hearing that type of talk, and they may have got on that mic and did the 1-2, and I'm like, hold up. Hold up. This is a little different. And I told Yandy, I was like, yo, Yandy, because she like, I was like, nah, you got to meet they made it different. She was like, okay, well, let's see. Then she came to the meeting and she was like, yo, Miller, she recording him on the thing like, oh, you heard what he said?
No, let me tell you something. The first thing I went to was the university out there. What school was that?
It
was on the campus. It was a big, huge school. What was that?
NGIT? No, I don't know.
NGIT. That's what it was.
Yeah, NGIT.
That was the first time I heard you
Oh, that's
speak.
right, because they booked you for the.
That was
NGIT.
the first time. That was the first time I heard him speak, and
youth
I was
conference.
like, I said, oh, he keeps it very real. I said, oh, this is a different type of mayor. I said, oh yep. I said, whatever is moving and shaking in this town with the leadership of that man, I want to be involved in, because this is not somebody that's just preaching out there and then going to his neighborhood in the hills. You live in, Fort Lee, or you live in what's that nice Alpine where you used to live. Like, I could tell. I don't even know where you live, but I could tell that from the way you were talking.
That's crazy.
You probably stay right where you work. Do you?
Yeah, South Ward.
That's crazy.
South Ward, is that in Newark?
Yeah.
I could tell. Because you was like, and then I went to another thing. It was the King Stop Killing Kings March.
Yeah.
But hold on. We
yeah.
gotta go back though, because people gotta understand this.
Kings Stop Killing Kings. That was dope.
Yeah, so when Myson and you came to the thing at the school,
Right, yeah.
Myson pulled up on you and was like, I want to do it. And people talk, man.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about the sun, the stars, the
Yeah,
moon,
yeah.
and what they gonna do and how they gonna
Always
do it.
talking.
You feel me?
Yapping.
This man said, we gonna do this King Stop Killing Kings, and the next month we was in the city doing the King Stop Killing Kings.
We had the king of the kings. We had every leader in the gang movement. It was like the top of the top. They were sitting there at a table talking about, we're gonna close the door and have family talk. So we had Bloods, we had Crips, we had, I don't even know all the names of all the gangs, but every gang you could think of that is
United Nation of gangs.
We had the United Nations of gangs sitting at a round table with their flags on the table or flags around their head, like, what we got to do to stop kings killing kings. And I remember you got up there and you spoke. Y'all so busy talking about colors. Y'all saying, oh, this is red, this is blue. Y'all need to be talking about what color you going to paint the building you own.
I know that's right.
I don't care if the building
She remembered that
I don't
day.
care if the building is purple you own. Go ahead and claim your color, but let it be on the building you own.
That's
let
right.
it be on the block you're not working, the block that you purchased. And I said,
That's right.
I said, I am officially an intern for this man because I need to learn all of this.
That's
good
100%
stuff.
right.
Then it
You
went from
remember
there.
that, right?
Yeah.
Then it went from there to me speaking to him like, okay, we did a rally. That's dope, because I believe in a good rally. But now, what's the next steps?
Right.
And you know what he said to me? You tell me what the next steps are. And then he was like, all right, you know what? I got one better for you. I'm going to hook you up with someone and you get with her and y'all make it happen. And that person was Keisha Yuri. And that's probably one of the greatest gifts I could have ever got. A woman that matches our energy, a woman that really wants to see change in her community desperately and by any means necessary going to make it happen. So we got with her. And then everything just went from there. So the Flipping the Game program, you want to tell them about that? That'd be the trade-off. Tell them about Flipping the Game.
Yeah, that's Flipping the Game has been amazing. I was privileged to go to a couple classes, and there it's a lot of the older people in the community. But when I say older, I still mean young. So I think the ages range from like probably 18 to about 40 years old. And these are brothers and sisters that might have thought that this was their last shot. Or they might have thought they had no more shots.
Right.
You know, some of them formerly incarcerated. Some of them have been unemployed for some time. Some of them just got their GED. Some of them are working on getting a GED. But in this room, especially what I spoke about, I said in this room, it's not about the degree you have. It's not about the suit or what you're wearing. In this room, it's about the hustle. It's about, do you want this? Do you want to learn everything it takes to get out there and change your neighborhood? And when I mean changing, I mean brick by brick, changing where you live. And they were like, yes, we're committed. And these brothers, these sisters, they were excited about learning about welding, learning about carpentry. I wish I would have been, I told you, I'm like, dang, I wish I wasn't shooting, or I wish I didn't have to travel.
She be mad. She see my Instagram and be like,
I wanted to learn. Yo, I sat in the classes and I'm like, yo, I wish I was here for all the classes. This stuff is some good stuff, especially now that I'm
we had investors. So some of
the
the stuff that you missed out on, like we have friends that are like master investors that own real pieces of, real estate, come in and do classes with them.
Wow.
So they had motivational speakers come and just so that people can see that people that look just like you went through the same thing that you went through. They are able to overcome, so you can too.
And he was talking about getting a property to teach those kids how to do the stuff for real.
Yes.
So it was that was the real kind of connection there. People didn't hear that or see that connection because we got little sound bites, but they don't see the real thing that's happening. I think that's important.
They need to hear it.
Yeah, she didn't come. Yandy didn't come to me saying she want to own all of this stuff.
No,
so the whole context was wrong, right?
Correct.
You want to get this property so that you could teach people in the city how to build and learn these trades
and how to also own.
But it was for them to own, not me. 100%, for them to own.
But they didn't get that, so we got all of the.
But there's a lot of editing and chopping and shit.
But I thought that the editing, I was impressed with Love and Hip Hop.
It made City Hall look dope though. See, I was like, look at City Hall.
No, but this is the first time that they're shedding light on like issues. So they followed us to Mississippi. Well, you was able to go to Mississippi.
You were there in spirit.
Yeah,
you were there in spirit. You was rooting us on and cheering us on. But so much of these shows are about the crazy and the drama, and that is a part of who we are sometimes. We're multidimensional people, and we deal with those things. A lot of times we deal with them in private. We all got a crazy cousin, or we all had a crazy relationship. We all screamed and yelled a couple times and did things we weren't proud of. But I wanted to say, I said, there are multi-levels to who I am. Please do me the service of showing some of these other things that I'm involved in, because I need my people to understand that there's opportunity for them here too.
100%.
So I said, I don't care what you get. I'll give you, if you want me not to sure. Because I really love everybody in real life. But I'm like, if you want me to just act like I have a problem, because sometimes I got a little bit of problems with people, I'll do that. But give me what I need. And I need people to see the real work that's going to change lives, because that's also happening.
That's right.
And allow this to be a platform to show people that there's a chance out there for you.
Yes.
There's an opportunity out there for you. Reach out. I might not get to all the DMs. That's why I always tell people to call Jamila. I give out your number all the time. Or I say DM Jamila, because we want to provide these opportunities for the young people. We want to provide these opportunities for, adults that want a second chance or that need a chance, period.
Right.
And I'm so grateful that they allowed me, because this is still a show and people care about ratings, and unfortunately the way this world is set up, they don't care about seeing positive things on TV. There's a million positive shows that are on OWN and all these, and guess what happened? They're there for one season. We are here for 10 years.
It is the largest viewed show for African Americans.
That speaks volumes.
Years. And the viewership.
Is that right? The largest viewed show?
The largest. And it's
I believe
millions. Every week, over 4 million people tune into this.
Holy smoke.
And people always say, what it's doing to the black community. what is the Okay, well, you can turn the TV off, or you can be a part of the change and be a part of helping these people that now have a job, they got an income, but now be a part of their change. Be a part of giving them something to do outside of just this show, because it's so easy to point fingers and say, she did that, she did this. But what are you doing to help these people get other jobs outside of this show that you claim is making them look crazy? What are you doing for the community? Because these people, they got babies they raising.
That's real.
Yeah, I want to point
I
fingers.
didn't even look at it that way.
They have children that they're raising. Y'all, she's crazy. I can't believe she did that. Oh, she's in this crazy threesome. Her children are seeing that too. Her teenage daughter is watching this go on. So as you point fingers and you judge, what are you doing to make a difference in her life?
100%.
And that is where I'm like, it is important to not just point fingers, but be a part of the change. So I said, if I'm going to be in this space on this show, and yes, sometimes there's some crazy stuff, but I also want to be part of the change in the lives of these people as well.
So what's going on at the Shani Baraka Center, y'all? Y'all at
your legacy.
So you guys know Tamika Mallory really quickly?
Yeah.
This is Tamika Mallory chiming in. You're on the phone at a podcast that I'm on with the mayor, Jamila, my other sister that gave us this amazing space. Say hello, Tamika.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Hi, Jamila, I love you so much.
I love you too.
You don't love the mayor, Tamika?
Okay, who, Baraka?
Yes. Oh gosh, she could. Okay.
Yeah.
Baraka, that's my man.
Yeah.
I am calling for something very specific. My son is a good partner.
You're on air, darling.
We on the radio.
Very specific.
You're on the radio. Is this a radio ask?
But I'll have to tell everybody on the radio
Okay.
something very specific.
Oh, I wanted
Okay,
to
go
make
ahead,
sure because
go
she
ahead.
called me 4 times. I said, this must be life or death. She keep calling. That's why I wanted to answer while I was on the radio. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm calling because in New York City, they've quarantined 83 people.
Oh, God.
For potential coronavirus, and that is very concerning to me. And I would love to know from the mayor what is our plan for dealing with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It is now spreading, and we don't know how many people are confirmed to have it, but at least 83 people have been quarantined in New York and Long Island.
Right. So we actually had a meeting today at 12 o'clock with our folks about, because the CDC is now sending out information saying that we have to prepare ourselves because they anticipate that it may begin to spread here in the United States. So we're preparing ourselves. We've been in Newark preparing ourselves because Newark Airport receives
all the goods,
the passengers.
Yeah. And the goods.
So we have been, already working with the state and the CDC and Homeland Security and all these folks, to make sure that they quarantine people for 14 days. So even if you're in contact with people that have it, they either self-quarantine or they quarantine you. If you're sick, they'll quarantine you for 14 days. Just because you quarantine don't necessarily mean
that you have
the virus.
Okay.
Some people are more susceptible or may have it because they've been in contact or been places where it is, and so they make sure that you do self-quarantine. They quarantine you for 14 days because that's the incubation period. If you're not sick in 14 days, then they let you go.
Okay.
They let you go. Yep. Because that's the quarantine period for the incubation of the coronavirus. Right. There's no cure.
Are there any symptoms that we should look out for?
Well, it's like the flu. So
and a lot of people getting the flu lately. This is like flu season.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like the flu. I mean, you start getting the temperature and the high temperature. Usually things that come with the flu, the vomiting, the same thing, sneezing, runny nose, all those kind of things. And it could live outside of the body for 9 hours. So on a surface that somebody has touched or sneezed on or did whatever, so 9 hours. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, you just have to pay attention to what's going on, be vigilant. And when you travel, you need to take you some Lysol wipes, and you need to wipe down the seat, the food, the tray, all that thing, the seat belt, and keep your hands washed. Wash your hands.
No, that was good information. You just gave us a whole.
Who knew? I didn't know what Tamika was getting ready to say.
But just so y'all know, so this is good. This is how our lives work. Right?
Yeah, I see.
So it's the 3 sisters. And for real, we really sisters in real life. Really the 4.
Yeah, so she was really calling. She didn't know I was on the radio, so she was really calling me probably to be like, yo, make sure your children wash your hands. Make sure you're not coughing or receiving anyone coughing or sneezing around you, because she probably really is concerned. Like, this is a problem.
And not just that, like, truth be told, Yandy is our media outlet. She has over 6 million followers, right? So we are a TV station. Well, actually, I'm sorry. How many? 6? Go ahead, correct me, because
I wasn't going to correct you because you were in a groove, but it's 6.2 on Instagram, but collectively is a little over 11 million between Facebook and Twitter and all the other outlets.
So what she allows us to do is to be able, if we have a message that we need to get out, if we got a word that we want to spread, then we're able to use our platform to get it, the message and the word out.
The biggest newspaper in New Jersey only got 1 million followers.
There you go.
That's big.
That just shows how the times are changing, though.
Yeah, only have 1 million.
And that's what I just told you, how all the opportunities I got. I recently did American Gangster, Trap Queens, CBS Pink Collar Crimes. Every person and producer reached out to me via Instagram in the DM. So it just shows you the power of social media, which people underestimate. Oh, you don't need no followers. You don't know. Well, baby, you're going to be extinct in a minute, because this is how the world is working.
That's right.
How the world is working.
But going back to the Shani Baraka Center, because we making magic at the Shani Baraka Center. Shout out to Keisha Giri in the building.
Yes. I get so warm when I think about that place. I just feel like, oh.
Nah, it's dope. It's dope. It's something that our world needs to see, right? Domestic violence is, especially in the African American community, it's a lot of times like mental health. People don't want to deal with that. People don't want to talk about it. People are told just it's going to be all right, let it go. And because of police brutality and different things like that, we don't really like to go to the police necessarily to handle all of our situations. So what I loved about when I spoke to Keisha and she was giving me her vision and for the center, using alternative means to combat the issues of domestic violence. Everybody's not ready to step up to the cops, but then the women need the strength to let go, right? Yeah. So I've been able to be a part of this program that we do on Monday nights called Rise Up, and it's like a sister circle, And what people don't know about me, because I'm kind of private, but then I'm open, is I've been a victim of domestic violence and probably some recent verbal domestic violence, And so sometimes as a woman, when you've been through so many hardships of life, you don't value yourself as much as maybe even other people see you. So you allow things to happen. So in that sisterhood circle, I even been able to develop some of my strength. Like we're able to confide and talk to each other and love on one another. And it's just healing, like true healing, where you could talk about something that you went through and then you can identify with someone else who's not going to judge you because they went through something similar. So instead of judging you, they're telling you, sis, I was in this too, and this is how I was able to get out.
Right.
So we share coping tools with one another. We share our stories. We share our progress,
And where's the sister circle at?
It's at the Shani Barakas. And I'm faithful. Like this is like a church line. Like, I don't know what else or a mosque line. Like when the doors open, the folks is there. Johnny Slam Center. And it's like a sisterhood that we've been able to build up. And this all happened because your city got an incredible mayor who had a vision for something and said, listen, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Don't talk me to death, Jamila T. Davis and Gandy Smith, about what you can do. Show me what you can do. And that's what he said. He said, listen, I'm not going to have 10 meetings with you about the meetings, next meeting's meeting. Here's Keisha. What y'all going to do? Show up.
Yeah.
That's what I say. They keep talking, we keep building.
That's right. And tell them about Wednesday night with the wig making.
Yeah, so for me, it's from a different place. Y'all probably don't know this very much, but I'm emotional. I am moved on emotions and feelings. I know that I need to do better. But walking in there, the amount of emotion that filled me up, not just seeing the women, because that's a whole nother story, which I'll say, but when I walked around and toured the building and I saw all the wraparound services that, a lot of times, because I've worked with women that have been in domestic violence shelters, and that's all it is. It's a shelter for you to come and hide. But this is not just that space. Like, this is a place where there is mental health coaching, there's job training, there is there was like so many different things. Yep. Everything, grief counseling, healing, a doctor, a lawyer, yoga, you name it, it was there. So you don't just get dropped off like, oh, you need a place to hide because he's abusing you, and they go. No, every single thing you want to sue him, we got somebody for that. Oh, you think you want to kill him? That ain't right. We got somebody for that. Oh, your babies is going through. You need help getting a job.
Housing, yep.
We got somebody for. You need to live somewhere. We got somebody for that. And I was just like, yo, this is a full
amazing
service center where you can really be healed. Yeah. And I think where we came in, we hired, one of the girls that I love so much, her name is Maggie Carey. She was on the show with me. She was a victim of violence and she was shot. And then also in the past have been a victim of some domestic stuff. And she's also a celebrity to a lot of people. So she was able to go in there and teach wig making classes. A lot of the women, when they're abused, their hair is ripped out and they've been finding ways to like glue the track on hair. But never was really properly taught how to make a wig or how to be a hairstylist.
Wow. So how to make money.
And how to make money.
So you could get out that abusive
relationship. What made you feel ugly, what told your secret, because if you went to work with a patch of your hair missing, people, what's happening there, girl? Like, these are the things that you tried to hide. Now it's becoming your strength. Now it's your power. We walked in and I was talking to the girls in the wig making class and this woman just kept crying. And I start crying. I'm like, why are we crying? Because I don't know why I'm crying, but I think I'm crying because you crying. And she was just like, you don't understand just me being here. You don't understand how I feel seeing these women. Thinking about it now makes me want to cry. She's like, you don't understand what this feels like. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please stop. Because it's like seeing the lives of these women change just from being around other women meant so much. So then we went to the makeup class.
Are you crying now?
I'm not crying.
You gotta be careful with her.
I know. So we went to the makeup class, right? We go to the makeup class.
Tell them what the makeup class is, though, because it's not just a regular makeup class.
Is so the people that book the makeup artists from my show, Technique Agency, they
shout out to Yanis Joshua.
Shout out to Takoa.
Yes.
So they book for Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop,
Black Ink,
all of the a lot of the reality shows that you see, and then even a lot of the artists that are performers, they book the makeup and hair for them.
So they're the plug. They're basically the job agency for makeup artists. So makeup artists died to be able, and hairstylists, to get underneath their agency so people could get constant work.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the top celebrity makeup artists, her name is Kamara. Now she's done my makeup, but she's a little too famous for me. I can't afford her, right?
And
she does like the Braxton sisters. She does the Cardis of the world, and she's like a big deal. Right. She's the person that's in there. When I walked in and I said, "Oh, we got you to teach this class." Oh, they got the creme de la creme teaching this makeup class.
Every week, a celebrity makeup artist comes and dedicates their time to teach the women the skill set of how to do makeup for real and not for fake.
But again, it's giving them that power back. These women learned how to do makeup because they were hiding black eyes. They were hiding green and blue scars, and they needed to understand what color contrasting is. And you can put orange to color green and color blue. But now they're doing it because now it'll be for makeup for a TV show or makeup for the next movie, or you know what I'm saying? And that is getting your confidence back. That is getting your strength back. That is using a horrible situation to be empowered.
Right.
And I think that was something that, again, even when we walked in that room, there was another girl crying. I'm like, y'all gonna stop this? And I just went around and I just gave them all hugs. And I was like, y'all don't even understand how much strength y'all give me, because I've never, thank God, been a victim of domestic violence. But seeing these women have the will to get past it, have the will to survive, have the will to be strong in the face of so much, and then even have the resilience to be like, and I'm still standing. What happened? And I'm still here. What's wrong? Yeah. Like, that just makes me feel like, dag, I wish I had half of their strength. They talking to me like, yo, you inspire me so much. I'm like, I inspire you.
Yeah. But let's talk about that, right? So I get really sensitive when it comes to Yandy, and I could get emotional because it's my sister. My sister loved on me when I needed love, right? So, people look at Love and Hip Hop and they're like, oh, she's this reality star, but they don't understand the impact that she has on the hood. The girl that might not look at Michelle Obama as being reachable. Not that they don't respect her, but she's not reachable to them.
That's good.
But Yandy Smith is.
That's good.
So when they see Yandy, it's like, oh, Yandy, you know, and they don't get that thing. So when Yandy tells them that they're beautiful, they fall out. Yandy said out because they believe her.
Right on.
This is the woman that they watch Monday repeatedly, and if they don't watch it, they put it on a TiVo, you know, or whatever you call it.
Put it on.
You know,
that's right.
So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I love you and I need you.
No,
I need you too. Because without that. You understand what I'm saying? Even some of the rooms, like, they like me later when they get to hear me talk. They like, oh, we like her. But even them kids, they be like, where Yandy at? Yeah, and I be on the phone like, Yandy, where you at? Because this assembly is about to start. And they want you. You know? And I mean, it's real, though. You know?
It's 100% real.
Correct. So it's like, for the haters and the people that don't understand, why would you lend your platform to somebody like her? Why not? Yeah. Why not a mother of a new movement? She's got, you know, all of the whole cast members of Love and Hip Hop want to be a part of our program. Mm-hmm. She's made activism cool. Mm-hmm. She's made giving back to the community cool.
Plus, she's from Howard, so.
Yeah, and I went to Howard, definitely.
Y'all gotta throw that Howard thing in there.
Already won from there.
Yeah, man.
That was enough.
I'm happy, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for, first of all, for being on this platform with you, and for you giving us an opportunity. And just, I'm a convicted felon. I did 9 years in the People Feds. The people told me I was washed up, I was finished, and I couldn't do it. And you did something for me that you don't know, but I'm going to talk about it on air. When I was at the King Stop Killing Kings rally, right? A lot of people see me and they be like, oh, she's so super confident. But really, you know, you battle your own demons, right? Yeah. I was letting everybody talk on the stage, and, you know, okay, I'm just, you know, sometimes I hold the bag, sometimes I take the pictures, because it's cool. For me, as long as the work gets done, that's all I care about. And you stopped me. You was like, hey, why you not talking today? I was like, you don't need to talk. He was like, no, you. They need to hear your story and your message. Right. And he opened that and extended it to me, and what that did for me. So when we look at you, like, I don't even really have role models. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't really care about celebrities and stuff like that. We see them, we grew up with them. It's nothing. But to me, you're my role model. No, I'm gonna tell you, you're my role model. I hear your story, how you was the principal, and you went from the principal to the councilman, and now you're using your position and your seat at the table to allow access and businesses for our people. So for Jamila T. Davis, you know, I only got a couple. Yandy Smith, you know, Tamika Mallory, and definitely Mayor Ras Baraka is my role model. So when you told me to do it and you said I got it, that inspired me to go. So it's now my job to give that inspiration to other people who look up to me. For me to tell them, hey sister, hey brother, you got this thing, and inspire them to be their best too.
So we run out of time, but I would love to talk to y'all for like another 2 more hours.
This was dope. Podcast, right?
Thank y'all for coming on.
We appreciate y'all for being here in the city.
Dad, we got so much more to talk
New
about.
Art. I know. It took y'all 60 minutes for that one. We're going to have a part 2, that's for sure.
Nah, that was dope. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, without question. Absolutely. We love y'all. We're glad that you're in the city of Newark. Despite what the haters say, Newark is a better place because y'all landed here in our city. God bless y'all. Keep doing it.
And we ain't even talking about what you spread into other cities. But that next time, part 2.
Part 2. Part 2. All right, Raz and 60, y'all tune in next time.
So we have on Lakeisha Yuri, our second guest on the show.
Yeah.
Yes. So Lakeisha, you've done a lot of work with the city, right, with the Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, and you are the program director of the Shani Baraka Center, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the city under the health department, we're creating, we have an Office of Violence Prevention. And so while the mayor was out and NAVC was out, one of our demands was violence as a public health issue. And so if we're going to do violence as a public health issue, then it should be housed in the health department. And we need to be looking at violence from a mental health place, also physical health versus public safety. And so as a result, we have a Westward Victims Outreach where we work with men who've been victims of violence and crime. And now we put Shani Baraka Center under that umbrella to work with women who've been victims of domestic violence, sexual assault. So we now have domestic violence, sexual assault, and community violence under one umbrella, violence as a public health issue.
Okay.
That's all right. Tell us what's your role over there at the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center?
So I'm the program manager. So I manage the programs and the staff there. And since I've been there, we've been improving programming, we've been improving customer service, and getting the word out about the services that the Shani Baraka Center offer. Most people think that it's just domestic violence victims, but that's not the case. We're a resource center, drop-in, walk-in, that people can come in and get anything from transportation tickets, if that's what they need to get to their appointments. We have a job developer, HIV services, so we have partners there who utilize the space to serve people based on whatever their missions are. We have a special victims unit of the police department that's there, and we have 2 social workers that's from the special victims unit to follow up on all the cases regarding special victims, homeless services, domestic violence specialists. We have a grief support specialist. We also have a sexual assault advocate, substance abuse counselor, and mental health counselors.
And you said people could just walk in if they want to?
People could just walk in. You don't need to have an appointment. The services are all free. We don't bill for Medicaid or anything like that. We just began offering, starting this week, it's called Baraka House Calls, where we have the GYN services, where they come on Tuesday and Thursday with the mobile unit, and women can get examinations and screenings done for GYN, and those are also free. So they bring the mobile units from 10 to 2 every Tuesday and Thursday.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
So what can women expect if they walk in the building? What can they expect when they get in there?
When they walk in, they can expect to see an environment that's a safe haven, right? Most people want to feel safe when they come to a place. They want to be able to trust that they're going to get something. And so the way that I've been implementing services with my staff is that we never know who's going to walk in. You don't know who people are. You don't know what's going on. And our city is a trauma-informed city, right? Most of the people have experienced trauma. And so when they come to us, most of them are at their last breaking point, where they've been from place to place to place. And so when they come, they don't want to be turned away. They don't want an attitude. They don't want to feel like they're a burden to anyone. And so the other thing that I say to them is that this is Shani Baraka Center. The Baraka family may come here. Right. Rayshawn Holmes' family may come here, and we don't know what they look like. And I would be appalled if someone walked in from the family and felt like the services and the energy was not what the spirit of the place was built for.
Yeah, my mother stops there sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think the importance of this is to the community, though, to the Shani Baraka Center?
The importance of this center is that, again, this place was built from ground zero, right? There was nothing there before. And so now there's a resource. Now there's a place. Now there's a safe haven. Now there's a place that someone can come and get an array of services. Right. That if they come in, we get women from the shelters that when they have to leave during the day and they don't have anywhere to go, they just want to come and watch TV. We offer that they can come and just watch TV. But we have computers, so they can come and print, fax, copy, email, whatever they need to do. Those services are free. So we have computers for them to use. We have a yoga class. We have this month, we have free tax preparation happening. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they can come get their taxes done for free. On Monday nights, we have this Rise Up class that we, just started, a women's empowerment group, wig making classes, makeup classes. So there's an array of things that they can get when they come there. And if it's not there, we tell people from the community, come and create it. If you have a group or organization or anything that you do and you want to do it here, the space is open. So we welcome the community. We have a gun violence group for parents or women who've experienced gun violence or children of murdered, parents of murdered children. So whatever it is that we don't have, the community can come in and do whatever they want to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very good, actually. So, I mean, the like you said, it was created from the ground up. Do you think a lot of women are using the space, or what can we do to get more people to come in?
We can advertise it more. I've been on doing a lot of the Facebooking now. There is a Facebook page for Shani Baraka Center.
Oh, nice.
We've put the YouTube video on there to showcase what we have. And so every day I'm posting the events, what we have going on. So being more interactive on Facebook and Instagram and social media.
Right.
We've been text messaging to let them know this is what's going on. I have staff now making phone calls to say this is what's going on. So communicating better, because a lot of people always say they don't know what's going on and the information is not out there. So trying to find better ways to get the information out. We, on average, we're seeing about 100 people a week, and now we've doubled that number. We're seeing on average 200 people a week. Okay. And so the numbers are increasing. The word is getting out. The center is becoming almost like a rock star place that people want to, come to. We have other cities that want to model, the programming, but also the center, because there's no place like it. To be able to walk in and you get all of the services for free.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We have on the other side of the building, we have special victims unit of the police department. And so the other part that we're doing is we're trying to marry public safety and public health, right? Because violence is a public safety issue as well. And so the people can come and file their reports if they've been a victim of a crime for domestic violence, sexual assault, missing persons, Megan's Law, elder abuse. They can file their reports on one side, and the detectives can walk them right over to the other side to get services that they need, versus sending them to Franklin Street or up to 480 or whatever it is.
And women might be a little more comfortable talking to a woman there as opposed to going to the police station.
Right.
And the detectives, they are plain clothes. So that was intentional as well, that a lot of people have issues with law enforcement in terms of uniforms, and uniforms can be traumatizing to some people. And so if law enforcement is in plain clothes, then that humanizes them just a little bit more. And so the detectives there are plainclothes officers who work in conjunction with the social services side.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, I've been over there a couple of times and seen so many different types of women over there and different programs and people who but you didn't know they was going through, the issues they were going through, and they're in there. And they tell you about it when you pull you aside, and I'm like, wow, I never knew this type of stuff. So it kind of lets you know that people are walking around dealing with these kind of things, unbeknownst to you, and it's a good opportunity for them to get the services that they need. So it's definitely a welcome addition to the community, that's for sure.
And it's in the heart of the community, right? Everyone knows that Stratford is the block that no one wants to go to.
Right.
Johnson and, that area, Clinton Avenue. Like, oh, you buy what? Oh, no, I'm not going over there. Yeah. And so it's in the heart of the community.
Right.
And so I know that happened, even with the staff, and there was a shooting right outside. And after the shooting happened, I said to the staff, come on, y'all, we have to go knock on these doors and see if people are all right and how we can offer services to the people. And they looked at me like, we not going out there and over there. And so having to change that kind of mentality and mindset, even with the people who work for the center, that these are our people. This is the community that we serve. And we have to go out there. They're not going to come in here all the time.
Right.
And so the outreach component is important, that we need to be in the schools, in the hospitals, door to door, store to store, letting people know these services exist. But if they're not willing to come here, then we have to go out there and do the services. It doesn't have to be in the center. It's of the center.
Right. And I've seen the wig making class and the makeup class that you did with Yandy and Jamila on their Instagram page. And I didn't know that was a service that you offer. So you teach women how to do these things so that they can use this skill to make money, right?
To make money, but what we found is that many of them talk about their experiences. They learned how to do makeup because they was hiding bruises from being abused in domestic violence situations. Okay. They learned how to do their own hair because their hair was being pulled out from being in domestic violence situations.
Wow, yeah.
And so they now started to build a bond that they can have these conversations in a safe space to say, I need to learn how to do this professionally for other people, not just myself, but to make money. They get cash. It's a skill, it's a trade, and we're teaching them how to get out of these financial situations that they're stuck in domestic violence and sexual violence relationships because they don't have the money to leave. So now you have a skill. Maggie teaches them that she makes $400 or $500 each wig that she sells. So if you sell a wig for $400 or $500, that's your plane ticket out, that's your train ticket out, that's your hotel stay, or whatever it is that you need to get out. And you keep doing some hair and you keep doing makeup until you can, find your way and get out. Right. And so this is an alternative to policing, if you will, for them to be able to get out of domestic violence relationships, because many of them are not going to go to the police. Right. And so they form their own bond and their own network, and it's almost a little underground railroad to teach them how to get out safely, but giving them a skill and a trade.
That's good.
Also for the makeup. giving them a skill and a trade that you don't have to do your own makeup to cover your bruises anymore. You can do other people's makeup.
Yeah, that's really good. That's excellent. I mean, because a lot of times they're not gonna go to the police, they're not gonna go to their family. And then one thing that this center helped me to understand is that, you know, a lot of times we were trying to find ways to protect our sister when really the answer is to teach them how to protect themselves.
That's true.
Right.
And if they know how to protect themselves and find a way out and find a support group and all this other kind of stuff, then they could get out of that situation without it turning into something deadly.
Right.
I mean, because we come after the fact.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, and then that turns into something else. You lose more people, and all kind of other stuff happen because it gets ugly. You know, and you know, so it is refreshing to see those things happening, and you know, it is therapeutic for my family. That's for sure, to see the good things that are happening at the Shani Baraka Center. Absolutely. Any last things you want to tell us?
Last things that I want to say is that the Shani Baraka Center is a safe haven for people. It is a place that many people wish that they had years ago. And people say that all the time. I wish that this place existed years ago. I would have been better off. I would have been a little bit further along. And so the fact that it exists now is amazing. And having people in place that knows the vision, that knows the mission is everything. And so a lot of times we have a great space and a great place and a great mission, but you have to have people that can execute that plan and that mission. And so the Shani Baraka Center is about to be a national, international place that people want to come to, that people want to replicate all over the place. We had a person come today from Patterson. They're doing a community center and a resource center, and they said, we just want to see this place. These was men that came and want to replicate a center. And so in essence, the mission is, and it's a trauma recovery center.
Wow.
Right? And that's what it is already in essence, without it having the formal name, because we are helping people who've been victims of violence and crime, but who experience trauma, and we are helping them to recover. So the Shani Baraka Center is a trauma recovery center.
So I have a last question for you. So what about people who say, Keisha Yuri, you was an activist, you're on the street doing rallies, so forth and so on. What happened to you?
What happened to me is that we have to evolve and grow, right? And so if someone else plan a rally, then I'll come. If someone else, you know, but we've taught them. We was in the streets for 155 weeks in a row.
That's right.
Rain, sleet, snow. And so we gave people the model of what to do when you're dissatisfied with conditions. And so we're still fighting violence. We're just not in the streets blocking the traffic, but I'm still doing community violence, domestic violence, and sexual violence work, just in a different way, and saving lives in a different way, and using your education to do that. Most people don't even know I have education, right? Because they just know your activism side. But I have a master's degree. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm in school for my doctorate as we speak. But you have to use those skills in a different way to be able to create opportunities for other people.
Bam.
Right, there you go.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate you. Keisha Yuri.
Yes.
Shani Baraka's
Resource Center.
There you go.
Women's Resource Center.
Women's Resource Center.
Office of Violence Prevention.
Office of Violence Prevention.
We are developing that.
There you go.
A whole division.
Move forward.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you go first week.
First Tuesday.
First Tuesday
of March. And the first Tuesday of April,
first Tuesday of April is the next show. Is the first every first Tuesday. Is when the Raz and 60 show happens. Make sure you tune in and be a part of what we're doing, and use the hashtag when you tune in. Hashtag Raz and 60. And if you got something to say, any questions, any comments, you can also send those in, but hashtag Raz and 60 at the same time. Remember, the difference between a broken community and a thriving one is the presence of women who are valued. That's Michelle Obama, who should be the president of the United States. That's just me talking. All right, y'all. Next time, Raz and 60.